It's been like a month since we did this, and most of us are here. There's no Ray this week. Hey, welcome to This Week in Film, the most professional show on the not radio.
We're back.
I'm Nick Panunto, joined as always by Matt Vitri.
Hello.
Matt V. And other Matt is joining us again. Matt Godish is here. You can see a beautiful picture of Matt Godish on our website. Go check that out under our crew. It's the best picture I could find of him by himself.
Oh, there's not many of those.
There's not. But there's no Ray today. Ray's at the dentist, and we miss him.
Dude.
Brush up.
Is that?
That's from Greece, isn't it?
Oh, I thought you were doing nighttime song from Sprout.
I was.
Yeah. You gotta brush your teeth.
Yeah, you got to.
Brush. Anyway, hey, so it's been a while. First off, I'd like to say congratulations to me.
Yeah.
Congrats,
man.
More importantly, I'd like to say congratulations to my wife, Jill.
Yeah, she's who deserves it.
Who just gave birth to my two new beautiful twin daughters.
Good luck.
Who are just a month old a couple days ago, which is why we haven't had a brand new episode out in some time. And so, good job, Jill. You make beautiful babies.
You did it.
You sure did.
The miracle of life. Twice.
3 times.
Well, 3
A
times.
lead.
Well, I guess 4 times.
4 times.
4 times, yeah. I've got my eldest is my son Alex, and we've got my daughter Natalie, and now we have Lillian and Charlotte. It's one big happy family.
I do not have any children. I have a cat. His name is Herman.
Oh,
And that's it.
what a pussy.
Yeah.
Cat.
Yeah.
Meow.
Yeah.
Um,
Be so feisty.
the last time I think I talked to you, Matt, you told me that you were recently on a vegan sort of podcast.
Yes,
And
I was on a pod. What do you call it? A Facebook Live
thing, yeah.
Television series called Plant Powered People. Oh, I'm sorry, Plant Powered Couple. Yeah, it was interesting. I went on there and I plugged our podcast and talked about I'm vegan and I've been vegan.
I sat there for about 15 minutes and watched you eat.
Yeah, they kept serving me food. It was great. So I tune in. It's on that website on Facebook.
Yeah, it was a fun show.
Tune in, watch me eat some vegan pretzels and
my favorite part was when you plugged our show. Your girlfriend looked embarrassed that we recorded our show in our studio.
I think it's the most interesting studio.
And I'd like to say right now you're listening to us from the friendly confines of I think we're gonna call this Studio E.
Yeah,
I was thinking Studio V because V-Tree.
We'll make the jokes over here. Okay, you just
V-Tree.
talk about your movie.
Matt, are you still here?
Yeah,
I've been back here.
I couldn't hear you without the beard. Okay, so let's get to it. It's been some time. Who wants to go first?
Matt G, I think since you were the guest, take it away. The away team always bats first, right?
Sure. I guess I'm going to take us back in the a way back mobile to 1999 when I saw Boondock Saints.
You went all the way back.
I went all the way back to 1999, and then I saw it probably about 3 days ago. Not that time matters. And
it's relevant.
It's such a great movie. I forgot how good it was because I probably haven't seen it in about
Boondock Saints is a kick-ass movie.
It's a good movie.
Troy Duffy, his one and only good movie, really. He wrote and directed it.
Yeah, the sequel too, right?
That sequel was
the sequel is atrocious.
And you know all about the making of Boondock Saints?
No, not really. I've seen the deleted scenes from the first
there's
DVD,
a whole
which all deserve to be deleted.
There's a documentary about the making of Boondock Saints. It used to be up on Netflix. I think it was called Hated, which is also another documentary about G.G. Allen. Don't confuse them. One's way more disturbing than the other. But
who's G.G. Allen?
He was a punk rock. I'm gonna get hated on for describing this wrong, but he was a punk rock star in the mid '90s who would throw his own feces at the crowd.
Oh.
And oh God, who's the guy who made Hangover? What's that guy's name?
Oh.
Anyway, that director, Philip something.
No.
Yeah, Tom Phillips or something.
Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips, NYU.
You're thinking Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, Todd Phillips, NYU senior year project was the documentary hated about G.G. Allen, and which in the end G.G. Allen kills himself. Well, not kills him. He overdoses on heroin after a show.
Oh.
But anyway, it's a feel-good movie. Don't watch that. But the one about Boondock Saints, you watch Troy Duffy sell his screenplay to Harvey Weinstein, who then buys the bar Troy Duffy's working at, and then essentially, I'm not going to get into this, but you essentially watch for 2 hours as Troy Duffy just pisses away an entire career because of his ego.
Oh yeah,
and I mean,
you can see that.
Like he's at the bar that he now co-owns with Harvey Weinstein, and like Hugh McGregor is coming to
he was supposed to get a lead role. And
it was a big
drunken fight,
big cast that these guys that did wanted to be in this movie.
Brad Pitt wanted to be in.
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein.
Way,
yeah,
really?
Harvey Weinstein was telling everybody Troy Duffy was the new Quentin Tarantino. And the movie ended up not being made by Miramax, but being funded by like an independent company for like $12 million. It originally was funded for like $55 million by Miramax.
Oh.
And Troy Duffy made no money off the movie because that's why it's such a disturbing documentary, is because you watch this guy go through all these ups and downs, and in the end he's left essentially being a bartender again after he made this very successful movie, because he gave away all of the rights on video to the distribution company that funded the movie. He had all the rights to the movie that made money in the theaters, and the movie didn't make money in the theater at all. So this other company that owns the distribution rights to the movie they made a boatload of money. I think it was like one of the top 5 most rented movies of like 4 years in a row.
All right. Hey, Matt, before we get any deeper, hey, what's the Boondock Saints?
Yeah, what's that about?
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I did want to say that Duffy did end up suing franchise, and he won.
Oh,
and got
okay.
Him and producers and some of the cast got money.
Great.
But it's essentially 2 Bostonian Irishmen decide to just be vigilantes, I would say, and kill bad men. And they start with the Irish mob in Boston, it seems like. Excuse me. The best character in that entire movie, though, is Willem Dafoe, who is an FBI agent sent to like task if this is a big mob war between the Italian mobsters and Russian mob, and it ends up just being these 2 really little Boston Irish guys. Catholic, got to make sure you mention the religious part, because that's like a huge
in nomine patria filii.
Yeah, it's like a huge reason why they're killing these people, and why they have like super duper strength and accuracy with their guns and stuff, even though they maybe have no training whatsoever, but can fall out of ceilings and kill a bunch of people. But it's such a well done movie, and I think
I disagree.
Yeah,
I really disagree.
I think it does not hold up.
But continue.
What have you? When was the last time you seen it?
I watched it like last year.
Yeah,
really?
I watched it like 6 months ago.
I think it's because when you compare, comparatively to the sequel.
Well, see, that's where I was gonna go.
It is a well done movie, and it's.
How about the video game?
There's a video game?
There's a video game?
Yeah.
I wish I should
Yeah,
have
it
known
came
about
out with when they released Boondock Saints 2.
Yeah, well.
I was a big fan of the Boondock Saints movie.
I was too. I
loved
don't
it
get
for
me wrong.
years.
I love that first movie. That movie is totally good, but it is unintentionally good. That movie should have been a nothing movie that is like totally forgotten in the annals of B movie history.
So over the top.
Yeah, and it's the performances of your main characters, and like you said, Willem Dafoe.
Who's the guy with the long hair?
Norman Reedus?
No, that's not
the guy with whose girlfriend with the cat.
Yeah.
The guy who looks like Mankind.
Yeah, it's like
that's that I forget his name. It's like Rocco.
Yeah,
his name in the movie. That's his real name. In Rocco.
But like there's the movie has such terrible acting, but at the same time such great acting. But it's told in such a non-linear fashion. It's all told in like flashbacks. Like the police show up at a scene, and then they do their investigation. There's sometimes some funny stuff happens, and then it flashes back, and we find out what happened during the scene.
Yeah, and that narrative is not used often. So I think that's why, to me, it still holds up, because even today, that kind of, forward showing the audience what happened and then taking them to how it happened is not something that is often used. I mean, Quentin Tarantino uses it well in all of his movies a lot of the times, but like this is something that like it's hard to do coherently, and I feel like they do it well through Willem Dafoe being like, this is how it happened, and then walking you through it and being the narrator of what transpired. So,
but like even Willem Dafoe is wrong about everything too.
Well, and
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Ammonia?
No, this is useful. He's like rubbing bloody fingers in people's faces.
There was a fire.
It was a massacre. And but like it's such over the top performances that because the sequel is so bad, the sequel kind of ruins the original one for me a little bit. Like where I used to love Spider-Man 2. But like Spider-Man 3 is so bad that I don't appreciate Spider-Man 2 as much. If you know what I mean, like the second product was so like all the decisions that he makes in the second movie make all the decisions that work in the first one seem accidental, which makes it seem less less as if this is a work of talent and more of, hey, this was all a mistake.
But sometimes great art is accidental. Some people in any art form sometimes get it right one time.
Yeah, and that's totally great, but it totally ruins
one-hit wonder band.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the movie's a one-hit wonder.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And the sequel is so bad, and what the hell did young Indiana Jones do to his face?
Oh yeah, like it's
but it's a great movie, but it's a great movie that is.
You can't.
When I first started, I started working at Blockbuster when I was in college. When I first started working there, my friends who were there said it was like my first day. They said, "Here, you have to watch this movie. You have to watch it before you come back." So I went back to my dorm because I was in college, and we watched Boondock Saints. I went back to work the next day. I was like, "This is the best movie ever! Why have I never heard of it?" They're like, "Right? Why has no one ever heard of this movie?"
Yeah.
And then you waited 10 years for that piece of garbage that was the sequel, and then the whole point of that sequel was just to try to make a third movie, and they're never going to do that.
No, not now, no.
And that seems to happen with a lot of movies in the industry, is that like these movies that have long-awaited sequels are just not living up to even the lowest expectations.
Well, I would think that it would be because it's an independently produced movie that there's no executive there telling him, hey, this is it's the same thing that happened with the Star Wars prequels. There's no executive there telling George Lucas, in this case, like Troy Duffy, who had a successful first movie. No one's standing there telling him
to rein it in.
Yeah, hey, maybe you should change this, or giving him notes on his writing and him taking it seriously. And if they are, they fail miserably.
Yeah,
but because they're probably not like they're not someone who reads like 1,000 screenplays a year.
Yeah,
and goes, oh, you're not hitting these plot points, so this is like preposterous.
Well, for instance, in the second movie, they spend way too much time with the cops trying to be funny rather than with the guy.
And I would think the first movie has like this. When you think of Boondock Saints, you think of that, like, the cat scene. You think of the ammonia scene. You think of the whole movie, like the opening scene where he tosses a toilet, to save his brother.
Yeah,
a huge freaking boy.
Yeah,
we got a huge freaking guy scenario.
Yeah,
but I mean, like, it is a very yes, they're telling the story in a very nonlinear way, but also, if you or if you, I said like when I first time I saw the movie Kick-Ass, I thought that maybe they stole the Boondock Saints story and just made it and pumped money into it because it essentially is almost exactly verbatim that story, except for there's no. I mean, there is a father. There even still is like a father aspect in the Kick-Ass story. So it's like that is very much a comic bookian, story structure.
Yeah, the movie does feel like
it does
based
feel
off of a comic book kind of a thing.
I agree.
But it's good. I mean, like I definitely like Boondock Saints. I just think that like it does not hold up now to where like what is. It's not irrelevant. Like when people are falling accidentally through a ceiling and spinning around and shooting people, it's like, all right, this is.
But they even say that
ridiculous.
In that movie, though. Like, Willem Dafoe is like, TV's to blame for this. Like, these guys think that, like, this is how you're supposed to do things. I don't know. I disagree that it doesn't hold up. I think that I can see Nick's point of view in that, like, maybe the second movie just waters down and doesn't make you appreciate the first one as much because it does seem maybe accidental. I mean, Troy Duffy wasn't even a writer or anything in the movie industry prior to this. He was just a bartender. So I can see that. But, I mean...
He also had a band. That was the biggest part of the documentary that made.
Oh, really?
Is that all the music in Boondock Saints is his band called the Boondock Saints.
Oh.
That opening
clever.
scene where they're walking into a bar, the people sitting at the bar are Troy Duffy and his bandmates.
Yeah.
And they thought that was another thing was that their music was being produced by like Harvey Weinstein, and that they owned all the rights to he gave 100% of the revenue for what the soundtrack would make. It made nothing.
Oh, God.
It's the movie. It's definitely an interesting movie. It's totally worth watching. I think it's still a great watch.
Don't watch the second
one.
But
the issue is that the movie's so good that you want more.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But what they gave you, apparently, there's a comic book that is decent. I guess I haven't read it, but you want more, and what they gave you is so bad that you don't want to go back. But well, good discussion, guys.
Yeah,
great.
It was great. Yeah,
you know what? Shaking off the rust.
Yeah, woo. All right.
All right.
It's like bagging on the cleats of the baseball bat before you get in the batter's box. It's nice.
Yeah. You want to go next? You want me to go next? You want to close out? You gotta.
I'll close out. Go ahead.
All right. So I've been busy for the past month. I don't know if you heard, but my wife had twins on top of the 2 kids we already have. Not literally on top of them. That would be gross. And
sounds exhausting and weird.
So I didn't really have a lot of time to watch any movies. But I did see 2, and one of them we're gonna quickly go into our update segment. That's not the update theme.
Oh, it's not. I don't know what it is.
Tony, you'd usually play it from his phone. He'd play the Unsolved Mysteries update. Tony's not here, clearly.
No. So
we got Matt G.
I just filled in with whatever I could make out of my mouth.
Me.
You did like breaking news.
Yeah.
So I saw Arrival over the break. Have you both seen Arrival?
I have. Yes.
Oh, thank God,
yes.
because I needed to talk to some. All right, so spoiler alerts for anyone who hasn't seen Arrival, because I'm going to go right into it right away, because we already discussed Arrival, I think, twice on the show. She has to let her daughter die, right? Is that the whole thing? She can't alter time.
It's that she knows that by having the daughter's going to die.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
But if she doesn't have the daughter and she doesn't die, then she can change time, which means that she wouldn't have done the other things that will lead to other things in the future. Like, she knows what's going to happen, but she can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's that she knows what's going to happen. So it's like that. It poses the question at the end of
free will and
like, hey, if you knew that the greatest thing of your life would end in tragedy, would you still do it?
Right.
And she chooses.
And I think that, like, she goes along with it, but she doesn't tell Jeremy Renner until maybe the kid's like 10.
Right.
And then then that becomes a whole thing.
Right. The other thing is that opening sequence of the movie, which is as almost as upsetting as the opening to Up. Watching that movie while your wife is holding your new twin daughter.
Oh my God.
is unnecessarily hysterical because my wife,
ironically,
my wife is in tears. She's like, "Oh, this is just terrible. This is horrible. Why are we watching this movie?" And I'm like, "I know, right?"
Yeah, we're gonna keep watching it.
Yeah, we're not turning this off.
There's aliens.
They're still asleep. We're not turning this off. But I thought that the movie was terrific. I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought it was fast paced. Like that was a very quick 2 hours.
Yeah.
There's no time wasted. I also love that when she's the beginning of the movie and when the aliens when she starts being able to use their language where she can see through time.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they play everything up that all the flashbacks are flashbacks instead of flash forwards. I thought that was just brilliant.
Yeah.
Because when the movie starts and you see all the terrible things that happen to her, and then she goes into her classroom where she's a teacher, and she's just very quiet, you feel really bad. You feel really bad for her. Like when her character looks as if it's like her first day back at work after recovering from all this trauma, and you realize, oh, she's just kind of a downer.
She's just a Debbie Downer of a person until she met.
Nothing's happened yet, and then you go, oh man. But it was like this experience that opened her up to the world, which I guess, like you said, it brings that question: Would you give up your greatest joy if it meant you'd have the most horrible things to go with it? Yeah. But the fate of the world also rests on it, kind of a thing. So
I didn't get that part at all. Like if she doesn't have the kid, the fate of the world's gonna be. I didn't really understand that at all.
She can't. That's how I interpreted it, and I could be wrong. And I haven't been able to talk to anybody about it.
Yeah.
But she can't alter time, because if she alters time, like that butterfly effect.
But doesn't she kind of, when she she meets the Chinese leader and he says things, doesn't she kind of change it in the future to give her answers in the past?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's a strange paradox.
She sees herself do that in the future. Like she knows that
was part of her. That was part of her timeline,
right?
Yeah. Which is if her daughter never dies, maybe she doesn't. For whatever reason, she doesn't get to go to that dinner where she meets the Japanese guy, where he can learn the name of his wife, kind of a thing, and all that stuff. So she has to let everything happen the way she's seen it. Otherwise, it could get ruined, and then in 3,000 years, those other aliens die.
But I don't think having the kid truly affects
I thought
anything. I think it's just more that shows the kind of like how important it was to her to at least experience that in her life in general, even though she lost things and it affected her greatly. Like I think having the kid still was a big deal to her, even if there was a tragedy of losing that kid. Because
I don't disagree with that.
I felt like another interesting aspect was that most people I talk to about the movie haven't considered is the alien who dies knows he's going to die the second he goes on the mission to go to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And still
probably
goes.
Long before that. Yeah.
But he still
and the whole
doesn't.
time, here's the other thing, the whole time that they're in the ship, the alien knows that bomb's going to go off.
Yeah.
Could have tossed the bomb out at any time.
Yeah.
So,
but
it's not the most perfect story, but it really makes you think an awful lot.
It took such a different approach to Close Encounter, aliens coming to Earth, like such a dynamic.
It was very hyper realistic. Like that's exactly what we would be trying to be
figuring out why they're here, and
hey, maybe their word for man means annihilation. Like
right? Yeah. Well, it's like that, from one of my favorite line from almost any movie is in Mars Attacks when. At one point, when the aliens come out, when the Martians come out, and one guy releases a dove, and then he shoots it, and the aliens shoot everyone in the crowd, and they're like, "What went wrong? We released the dove," and I think it might be Natalie Portman who says it. I don't remember, but she goes, "Maybe to them, doves mean war," and that's how just how damn complicated communication is. But Arrival, I really enjoyed. I'm looking forward to seeing it again. And that was also the first. It was Dennis Villeneuve movie. Yeah. I still haven't seen Sicario. I still haven't seen Prisoners.
He's got two good movies he made before he was famous. That he's not like one of them was nominated for best foreign film, but he's got arguably those movies before he became famous in the States.
But I mean, that's a tight movie.
Yeah, tight movie. Yeah, there's no lag.
Yeah, there's no lag. There's nothing wasted. There's no characters that you dislike either. Whenever I thought when I first saw Jeremy Renner, I was going to be like, okay, well, this is going to become the boyfriend. They're going to hit on each other, but the love story that develops feels very natural. It's this, it kind of comes along as part of the story.
There was one line.
He definitely didn't use any bow and arrow.
No, but there was one line in the movie that he says at the end that I thought was ridiculous when they're getting in the helicopter to leave. He's like, you want to go make a baby?
What?
No, he says that at the house.
No,
he says that at the house
that's
the
future.
That's
in the
like
future.
the future. They're at the house where they're drinking the water.
And I'm
the
pretty
wine.
sure you would say that to your significant other.
I say that to everybody, but
you want to make a baby.
Play the odds game here, kid.
As the father of 4.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Let's say, do you use that line too?
That's the first step.
Yeah.
The first thing
do you want to do this?
You get consent. And then
go on.
And then you call the doctor.
Can you trick the
and you say,
that sounds illegal.
What are the rates for babies? And about 10 months ago we called and they said we've got an amazing 2-for-1 deal right now.
BOGO. Buy one, get one.
Buy one, get one.
Yeah.
And we were like, sold. Sign us right up.
Yeah.
And so you order it.
Oh.
And over time, first of all, you hug for a very long time.
Or short time. The time.
Yeah.
How long?
Doesn't matter how long you hug.
The hugging
Other
doesn't.
Matt's case, for a good 13, 14 seconds.
Time is a flat circle. And then eventually, your partner swells with love.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
and then once the belly
which
button.
partner are we talking about?
I guess
first one swells and then the other one swells.
I also
swelling.
I clearly have swollen with love.
Yes.
And then once you hear like a pop sound, you go to the hospital. And conveniently the babies are there waiting.
Oh,
for
they're
you.
there. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
and then
magical.
the reason that the mom is so tired is because she has to pick them up and down so many times. You have to prove that you can lift the baby. And my kids listen to the show, so that's why.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so that's biology right there.
Yep.
Great.
So call your doctor up, see if there's any good sales going on for the babies. We will not be making that call anymore.
Maybe you'll get like a buy one get 4.
That's why you buy one get.
Oh
one.
man,
So
what
you
a bargain!
stop.
Then you can try and ship
8.
some of them off on eBay. Yeah. All right. So that was the update segment.
Yeah.
I also watched. Well, Matt, you go now. Let's take a break from me. It turns out I am going to close out.
Oh, all right. Here we go.
What is this now?
I don't know.
All right, we're doing great.
Feels long, but
doing great. Thanks. That's what they all say.
Yeah, I was about to say it's supposed to not.
Feels can be deceiving. Oh, anyway,
the long.
No, I watched a movie called Passengers, the Oscar-nominated Passengers.
So it was good.
Best,
so it was really
best picture?
good.
Oh God, no, no. Best CGI.
effects?
Yeah, there you go. And score, some kind of music-ish thing. I'm gonna just go out and
the winner for best musical-ish thing.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, who cares? I mean, I'm not watching that. I probably will. Who am I kidding? The Passengers. I did not like this movie at all.
What is Passengers?
Oh, I'm sorry, Passengers. It is with Chris Pratt. And for some reason, when I think of Chris Pratt, I think Indiana Jones. I don't know why.
Because you want him to be Indiana Jones.
I really do.
I do too.
I really do, but they're not going to let him.
He's already got too many Marvel
yeah,
stuff
he's got-
going on. Yeah, too much
I know.
Disney already.
It's crazy. But
Just let him be Indiana Jones.
Yeah, seriously, it's
And make a movie, make an Indiana Jones movie like every year and a half with them. Just pump them out. Just go
until we're sick of it.
Yeah,
that might take 10 years.
Like, oh god, another.
I'm still gonna go.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this movie takes place in outer space with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. Michael Sheen is in the movie as well. He plays a robot bartender.
Michael Sheen.
I like him a lot. He's great.
Have you seen the? I'm going to interrupt. Did anybody see on Netflix oh God, who's the singer? Michael Bolton's super sexy Valentine's Day special?
I haven't seen it.
Oh my God, is it the most perfect hour of your life that you'll see? It is. If you like Comedy Bang Bang or Lonely Island, those guys, then you're gonna. Michael Sheen plays an amazing character.
Say it's Michael Sheen in it.
Yeah, that's what. Anyway,
all right. So
Michael Bolton.
Go on.
So Michael Sheen plays a robot. Anyway, the movie takes place. It takes place in the future. It's how do I describe this? A ship has left Earth and is going towards a planet that is 200 years away or something like that.
It's a generational ship.
Yeah. So they have put everyone to sleep. Everyone's sleeping.
Like when you take your dog to the vet.
No, like everyone's in a cryogenical slumber, and a asteroid hits the ship at the beginning of the movie, and Chris Pratt wakes up.
Oh no!
Lone guy to wake up 90 years early.
Wow,
that's too early.
That's too early. There's no way for him to get back to sleep. So
I've seen that flaw in a few sci-fi movies.
Yeah, so
they should have a way to go.
There
back
should
to
be
sleep.
like a emergency sleep.
Well,
chamber.
so there's so many people on board this. I think there's like 5,000 people on board.
Is there something wrong with Earth that like
it's overcrowded and there's no jobs and they're like leaving Earth to go to another planet.
These failed Donald Trump policies.
Yeah, too many jobs.
Too many horse jobs.
Yeah.
Too many.
Anyway,
too many trunks. Have a heart. Don't take a. What is it?
Don't take
what are we
a
protesting?
carriage ride.
Oh, don't take a carriage ride.
No carrot rides.
Yes.
No carrot rides.
Do not take a carriage ride. It's awful.
I think that's pretty nice. It's fun.
No, yeah, if you like being pooped on by an animal that's been neglected its whole life, that's fine.
Why are you riding underneath the horse?
So
why are you the horse?
Comes at the back, not the underneath part. Anyway.
Why is the poop?
The horse's carriage is behind the horse's tail.
Yeah. Why is the poop getting on you?
It doesn't get on you. It falls into a little
if it's
like
explosive.
sack.
Well, it's better than.
It's not romantic. It isn't like a Matthew McConaughey rom-com. It's like you're in this thing. You're watching this poor horse. It's bleeding. It's pooping. It's
Why is the horse bleeding?
Because it's awful. They neglect it. They beat it.
Who beats the horse?
The
horse beater.
Jockey. The horse beater.
The guy with the nice hat?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice hat, but he's not a nice guy, apparently.
Yeah, that wonderful guy in a wonderful union. Anyway, so...
Passengers.
This has been Poor Politics.
Yeah, Poor Politics with Matt V. Don't ever...
Save a horse, ride a...
Don't... Yeah, take a cab, save a horse. There you go.
There you go.
Now we're going to put the horse down because it doesn't have a job.
It's fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the bloody horse.
No, the horse wouldn't. Trust me.
I don't know.
Do you speak horse?
I do.
Oh, I speak horse. Okay, this is good.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I asked the horse, "Hey, do you want to stop working and have us put you down?" And the horse says, "Nay."
Nay.
He said, I was going to say, of course.
I could have. There's a much better setup to that. See that?
I think you nailed it.
Yeah. There's a better setup to that.
So passengers, Chris Pratt wakes up. I'll briefly get through this because I really dislike this movie a lot. He wakes up 90 years early. He then decides that he's lonely after a year and maybe like 13 months, something like that, maybe 14 months.
That's not that long.
He's been stalking the other pods, and he sees Jennifer Lawrence asleep in her pod and goes and steals like the her little like if like Match.com was a video segment in the future, That's what he takes and puts on and watches it every day and creepily stalks this girl he's never met in his life, who's never been conscious. And then
that's one sexy ice cube.
Breaks into, he's a mechanic, rewires her pod so she wakes up too.
You guys couldn't see what I just saw, but Matt with his fingers did like a little
wiring.
Like he was like hot wiring up a car with his finger.
Wait, so future technology just hot wired.
I mean, it's still electricity.
It's electricity, man.
Yeah, but he break into it. Break into it and use the electricity. Like, I don't know. That's continue.
He's probably drunk from the robo bartender.
Every day he drinks. It's his best friend is this robo bartender who has no legs. It's upsetting.
If I had a robot bartender, he would be my best friend too.
Yeah, it really feels like they stole the scenes from The Shining and which is fine. The only thing in the movie I thought worked was that it was cool. That and the CGI was amazing. Like the visual effects were fantastic, but he convinces Jennifer Lawrence, that they're gonna figure out a way to like live and put her back to sleep, and he does, and it's a whole thing. Lawrence Fishburne wakes up at one point. He dies quickly. He's done.
Oh,
because you don't like the movie doesn't mean you should just spoil
you don't have to.
I'm gonna spoil hell out of it because it's just terrible. No one should ever watch the movie Passengers. It is set up to be a romantic movie set in the future. What it really is a man who basically steals the life away from a woman because he likes the way she looks, and it
Isn't
felt
that what we all do.
Well, yes, but not so blatantly. Like it's the two of them on a ship. They have to fix a ship so that not everyone dies on the ship. They do that.
You really don't have to spoil the whole movie.
They do that.
I wanted to see it.
It's in the preview.
I do want to interrupt real quick. How long was Tom Hanks on the island?
2 years.
2 years.
In Castaway?
In Castaway. 2
no, it's
years.
like 5 years.
2 years.
Okay.
No, it's not.
It's 2 years. I'm telling you.
No way, because Helen Hunt's got kids.
It's 2 years.
It's not 2 years.
She moved on very, very quickly.
No way is it 2 years.
He marks on the rock 2 years, like some odd days.
No, it's way
I didn't want
more.
this to be an
Let's
argument.
call it 6 years.
Let's cut it in the middle and say 3 years.
All right.
So, still, he was on that island, and it took him. He just got like a ball. He had a ball, and although he was lonely, like he was able to make it. Like Chris Pratt's character for only going a year.
Well, Chris Pratt, there's no way. I mean,
and he's in a spaceship.
When you watch him contact home, it's like, oh, it'll take 57 years to get a response. Like you watch him go.
That's called the blue shift.
Yeah, you have him go through the like.
I'm very smart.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm going through a bunch of like all the motions of like what you would do if you woke up 90 years early on a ship and couldn't go to bed.
Might not be called a blue shift.
I think it's red shift.
So anyway, that's when he decides, well, I'm gonna die on the ship. I'm not just gonna spend the next 60 years of my life alone.
So I'm gonna kill someone else with.
Basically, he's killing her by waking her up.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's exactly what he does. And then he doesn't tell her that he woke her up. He tells her, "Oh, your pod malfunctioned too."
But she finds out.
Yes, because the robot tells her, and that's when she decides that she's no longer in love with Chris Pratt and his antics, and that's when Lawrence Fishburne wakes up. His pod does malfunction, and they have to fix the ship
again.
Well, that's when they decide. Oh, the ship is like failing. That's why our people are waking up. So we have to fix the ship in order to save everyone else. So, long story short, the heroics of Chris Pratt convince, because he finds a way to put Jennifer Lawrence in the sickbay pod and go back to bed for the rest, till the 90 more years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, no, basically you've proven yourself to be a worthy gentleman, so I'm going to,
forget that you tried to kill me.
Yes, forget that you've murdered me by waking me up, and I'm never going to get to my destination. And by also, these people, you think about it, have just they've already killed themselves, everyone they know already, by getting on the ship and going 90 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a 200-year trip to go to and from this planet. And she was a journalist whose plan was to go there and come back. Go there, spend 2 weeks there, and come right back. That was her plan.
That's a terrible waste of resources.
Terrible plan. But
2 weeks for
yeah, that was her plan. And
where's the ship that's taking them back?
it's the same ship probably. So like,
so they're going to like an established colony?
Yeah, it's an established colony. So they make a point of like this company that's riding in the thing. They're worth like an ungodly amount of money that I can't even remember. It's like trillions or
so
billions.
Is this like a cruise ship to like
exactly. So so the people weren't supposed to wake up until 2 weeks before they got to the planet.
But it takes 200 years to get there. So her story. You said 200 years.
200 years.
You said he woke up 90 days before. So it takes him 200 years to get from Earth to this new place.
Yeah.
So it's a 400-year round trip. Her story would be 400 years old for 2 weeks there.
For 2 weeks, yeah.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It's ridiculous. I mean, even if it's 30 years old, it's like stupid. It's like,
breaking news, 200 years ago, the sun was shining.
So
the weather on Vespa 4 was...
It was a really stupid idea, and the story, like, it just... You're just basically watching someone go, oh, I have no way of not being able to, like, live with you and coexist with you, so I guess I'll try. And then they figure out a way to put her to sleep, and she doesn't take it, which in my mind was like, oh, I saw Interstellar. I know how this works. Put her to sleep for 5 years, wake her up. Put you to sleep for 5 years, wake you up.
Yeah.
Like bounce back and forth. So, like, in 90 years when you get there, maybe you're only, like, 20 years older than you are now. You're not dead. But instead they, like, live a whole life and they grow with some kind of botanical garden. Andy Garcia shows up at the end. Well, he's the captain of the ship, has 0 lines in the whole movie. You just watch a bearded Andy Garcia wake up and walk around this and stare at, like, a bunch of vegetation on a ship.
Does he do his weird Ocean's 13 or Ocean's 11 walk?
No, he's just Andy Garcia. Like, he looks like an ape with a big silver mustache, like silver beard. The movie was not. I just was very let down. I thought the movie. Here's the thing.
What did you expect?
I expected it because it was on like a list like 5 or 6 years ago of like greatest screenplays that haven't been made. I expected it to be really good. The story itself, if you were to read this as a short story, like a short, if you were to read this story as a short story, I would be like, this is the greatest like science fiction story I've ever read. But it's not. It's it's like a 2 hour and 10-minute long movie with it. I don't know. I didn't buy the whole like love story. I didn't buy any of the stuff. They do a lot of really. They just do a lot of things you see in other movies. Like there's a whole class system. So when she wakes up, she can get better food than he can because her bracelet is like of a better.
The way it should be.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, Passengers. I was not a fan. I did not like it. If you liked it, that's fine. It's on you. You like terrible movies, I guess. It's cool.
The judgmental.
Yeah. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. It isn't the worst movie of the year, but I'll never watch it again, and I promise you that.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
scathing.
Show's getting a little long, so I might not have time to see a movie next week. So maybe I'll just save it for next week. So
there you go.
I think we're just gonna wrap it up.
No
now.
games.
We could play a quick game.
Oh, I like.
You want to play the? Yeah. You want to play the movie game that we played that one time?
This isn't it.
What?
All right.
Yeah. All right. So Matt, you weren't here. Here's the game.
So it was fun.
I'm gonna name an actor.
So you invented this game, right?
I invented.
Yeah, I remember that.
I invented this game. No matter what anybody else says, I invented it
in the nick of
at
time.
Blockbuster.
I remember this.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
We're gonna play in the nick of time.
Matt, what's the music for that? No, it's not.
No?
Wow.
No, that's fine.
All right. Well, that's what it is now.
You changed.
All right. So I'm going to name a movie. Then you're going to name
an actor.
An actor, or I'll name an actor, and you'll name a movie that guy was in. And we'll keep going till everyone's eliminated. And first person to 3 points.
And you have to know, if you name a movie, another actor in that movie.
Right.
Or another movie that the actor is in.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm explaining the rules to you.
Yeah. Well, I
Thank
know
you for
I know
explaining
the rules.
Thank you for explaining it.
I want to win.
Yeah.
All right. So, and you could call this is a wrinkle that I forgot.
The
that I'm adding
challenge.
in. You could challenge.
That's how I lost last time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is in the heat of the moment, you give up, and then you give up the point, and that's it. All right. So, good song. Please stop singing. I don't want to get sued. And all right. So, I'll start and name the actor Chris Pratt, and it goes to you, Matt G.
Let's do Guardians of the Galaxy.
Vin Diesel.
The Fast and the Furious.
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Ew.
The Fast and the Furious is the first one. I'm just gonna say Paul Walker because let's do it.
Paul Walker.
Too soon.
Yeah, you really. I'm tearing up over here. It's not cool. I'm trying to think of something obscure that he's been in. I don't want to go down.
Yep, that rabbit hole.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say She's All That.
Paul Walker's and She's All That.
Would you like to call me on that?
I don't, but I'm gonna go with Freddie Prinze Jr.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's do.
Silence sounds great.
Let's do on the podcast. I'm gonna say
Podcast Radio Network.
Summer Catch.
I was hoping you'd say Wing Commander, but
there's only one good scene.
Matthew Lillard, because he's in every Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yes, he is.
You said Matthew Lillard?
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo.
Oh.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
That's an issue. That's an issue. Because other than them two, I'm gonna challenge you, Nick.
I have an answer.
Sarah Michelle
Gellar. Got him.
I came up with it right at the right.
I got it right before.
Right before you said that.
Should have went right for the challenge right off the bat.
All right, 1 point for me. All right.
Me and you now.
Right.
Mono e mono.
Oh, all right. That's how we play. Right.
Yeah.
We're just one and doneers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. We're not
so
playing
I bow out gracefully by giving either a movie or an actor that you guys play off.
Or we could play where all three of us are back in it again.
Okay.
And it's the first person to 3 points.
We could do that.
All right.
Wait, so you get the point?
I got a point.
Oh.
All right. And you can Matt V, you can start. You can go movie or actor.
Apocalypse Now.
Jeez.
Oh, Robert Duvall.
Wow. Man.
Kicking and screaming.
Will Ferrell.
Stranger Than Fiction.
Dennis Hoffman.
What?
Bobby.
What?
Isn't that's a guy, right? Hoffman.
Dennis Hoffman.
Hoffman?
You're halfway there.
Hold on. Why am I blanking?
Making up names.
Just making up
names in a dartboard.
Bobby
Boucher?
Shoe Shiner.
Oh my God. Whoa. I would call him on it. I would have called him on a long time ago.
He already guessed.
Yeah.
He said Dennis Hoffman.
Yeah. Whatever.
God. What was the movie again?
Stranger Than Fiction. I was gonna go. My flyback was. Are you're out then,
Yeah.
right? Emma Thompson.
You got a point. But what's his name?
Dennis Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin. Jeez Louise.
I couldn't tell if you were going for Dustin Hoffman or Dennis Hoffman.
No, I that was the problem. I mixed up the names, but I knew Hoffman was in it.
People at home listening, please combine Dennis Hopper and Dustin Hoffman into one person.
Into one person and make that right.
Yeah. All right. So I got 2 points then. Because
I'm an easy target, apparently.
Yeah.
So.
Oh God.
And all right, Matt.
The usual suspects.
Kevin Spacey.
Let's do.
He doesn't know what movie was Kevin Spacey.
No, I don't want to just give an obvious one.
Oh, that's the way to play the game.
Let's do Pay It Forward.
Ooh.
Haley Joel Osment.
The Sixth Sense.
Let's do. I'll just give you Bruce Willis. I mean, Bruce. Bruce Jackson.
Bruce McJackson's.
Cop Out.
Tracy Morgan.
Yeah. I don't know why I said yeah. I got excited now. Now it's on me.
I would call
him. No. I think he knows it's Tracy Morgan.
I don't think he knows a single one.
Tracy. I don't want to call him on it. I don't want to do it. If I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out like a man and say the wrong name.
Thinking of this right now.
You can't do that.
No, don't help me. I'd rather just lose. He's in.
We should have changed directions.
Yeah.
We really should have.
Flip back and forth.
Or going like.
I'll challenge you just because.
I don't have one.
Oh!
I can't think of it.
Fist fight. Do I get the point?
Oh, no.
I mean, actually, you get the point because I couldn't name it. And he could.
You get 0.1 points.
Okay.
All right. So, I guess it's you again, Matt. Because, all right, but this time we're gonna go the
other way. Yeah. Give me something really hard.
I can't think of any of the movies right now.
Diamond.
Dennis Hoffman.
Dennis Hoffman. I can't believe I did that.
Army of Darkness.
Bruce Campbell.
Evil Dead 2.
Rick Domeyer.
He's literally only in like that movie.
There's one other.
So I will challenge you because you probably know one then.
Die Hard 2.
Oh yeah, no. He's one of the bad guys.
No, he's a camera guy.
Camera guy.
Is he?
Too, yeah.
I thought he was one of like those Swedish men or something.
Yeah. Oh, so right now it's 2 to 1.1.
Yeah.
All right, so now I start. Does it go? Which way does it go now?
I don't know.
I love just giving you guys points.
All right, I'm just gonna start with the Boondock Saints.
Willem Dafoe.
Christ. Platoon.
Charlie Sheen.
Oh, got him.
Is that wrong?
No, that's
No,
right.
Oh, okay.
Major League.
Tom Berenger.
See, I know a bunch of. Oh, The Substitute.
Jesus. Challenge because come on.
Ernie Hudson.
Oh! Got him.
Ernie Hudson's
Oh
the principal, right?
I never would have got that.
Right? Like I knew that was coming. I was like, someone's gonna drop The Substitute.
All right, victory is mine.
I honestly thought that he was gonna say Sniper, which is another one I have. Like, is it Billy Zane? Is it?
Yeah.
If I didn't think of Ernie Hudson, like right at that last second, I was gonna go with Major League 2. Okay, well then that's the show. Check out thisweekinfilm.com to see things. Look at that picture of
Other Matt.
And Matt V. Anything to plug?
I am now back on Twitter after a hiatus. Boy. Yeah. So
wait, you know what? Yeah, you keep talking. I'm gonna read a Twitter response from someone.
Get my Twitter name.
Great. This is a terrific plug.
It's like, oh no, it's Matt_Vitri. Also follow me.
Maybe you want to spell that for people.
Oh, well, follow me on Instagram. It's Matt Vitri. It's MATT, Matt. My last name is Vitri. V is in Victor, IETRI.
Do you have to write out underscore or is it just a symbol?
It's just a symbol. It's underscore in Twitter. I'm also on Tumblr.
What?
Imager, Snapchat, Facebook.
Ooh, what's Imager?
Oh, it's fun.
Is it the hot new thing?
No, it's way old.
Oh,
I'm also on Reddit.
Really?
Check me out on Reddit.
You have your own subreddit?
Yeah.
What is it?
Redditman.
What?
My subreddit is, I believe it's VeetDog5.
Is that your name or your own
my name.
subreddit?
That's my name. I get a lot of...
You should not have given that out.
Yeah, that is.
I get a lot of questions.
I am going to go look at that almost immediately.
I get a lot of questions about me being Vietnamese a lot, but no, I'm just not.
All right. Other Matt, anything to plug?
No.
Okay. You just want to go home, go to bed? So we had a raise random request about a month ago. I don't remember what the question was at this point.
Oh my God, I don't think I could ever gun to my head and pick out what it was.
At Hurricane Nate replied to us on the Twitter, and he said his answer is Boyhood, which he did not appreciate, or she, could be a girl. Anyway, Shim writes, raise random request, Boyhood, which I did not appreciate, Memento, which I did enjoy. And then I said, sorry, we haven't read your answer. It's been crazy around here, blah, blah, blah. And then they replied, yeah, well, get your shot together, LFG, which I could not figure out. What is LFG?
LFG.
Live freaking good.
See, in video games, that means looking for group. In
Hurricane Nate, you could be part of our group. I imagine it's one of your friends, but
I told you 100 times I don't have friends.
Yet you ask for some every podcast.
Hey, by the way, if you guys want
now you guys
friends,
know why.
Please, God, hit me up. I'll let you use my Netflix, HBO, whatever you want. I'll just sign up for it and you can have it.
All right, let's end the
Join my
show
gym.
because it is dragging on.
Let's go.
All right.
Get my card.
If that's the end of the reel, oh man, I thought of a totally different one. Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, here we go.
Well, it looks as if the house lights are up, so we'll see you
Oh God.
next week in film.